Hello, welcome back. Today we will start discussion of botanical nomenclature. We know nomenclature is an integral function of taxonomy, both animal and plant taxonomy, and that is assigning names to taxa of any level, for example, species, genus, or family. And the process of giving names is governed by an international code, a set of rules. Earlier, it was known as International Code of Botanical Nomenclature. Now, the code is known as International Code of Nomenclature for Algae, Fungi, and Plants. Earlier, it was ICBN. Now, the abbreviation is ICN, International Code of Nomenclature for Algae, Fungi, and Plants. So, this is the last ICBN, International Code of Botanical Nomenclature, that is Vienna Code. It was published in 2006, and this is the present code, International Code of Nomenclature for Algae, Fungi, and Plants. That is Shenzhen Code, published in 2000, or it was effective from 2018, January 1st. This is an older code, International Code of Botanical Nomenclature 1988, and this is the previous code. From this code onwards, the title of the code changed to ICN, that is International Code of Nomenclature for Algae, Fungi, and Plants, or Melbourne Code, and that was become effective from 2012. So, nomenclature is assigning names to taxa, species, or any category. So, why do we need names? What is the use of names? What is the purpose of name? So, a name is useful in many ways. One is to avoid descriptive phrases to refer to an object. That is the general purpose of a name, of any name of an object. To avoid descriptive phrases to refer to an object. That is by assigning a name, or just by telling a name, we can also communicate the characteristics of the object, or the person, or the plant, or the animal. So it is easy to communicate characteristics of objects or plants or animals by avoiding descriptive phrases. So we can avoid large descriptive phrases to refer to an object, and to render communication easier. By telling names, we can easily communicate things, objects, its characteristics, etc. It serves as a mean of reference. For example, Ixora coccinea. That serves as a mean of reference. Serve as a key to the literature published. So literatures published of any plants can be easily retrieved using these keywords, that is names, for example botanical names. So we can retrieve data regarding Ixora coccinea very easily by giving keyword Ixora coccinea. So this is a plant, a useful plant. It is commonly known as papaya in English, and it is known by many common names in Malayalam: papaya, karmosa, karuta, kaplanga. So the same plant is known in many common names, local names in different regions, or even in a single region it is known by different local names or common names. So many names are used sometimes for a single plant in different regions, according to different regions, or sometimes in the same regions, many names are used. So this is the problem, main problem with the common names. Many of the plants do not have any common name, but some plants have common names, but they are highly variable between different regions, and within the same region also shows wide variability of common names. So the common names are generally used by people within a limited geographic region. So that is limited in its usage, geographically limited. So a common name is used in a small territory only. And they are not formally published. Common names are not formally published, but scientific names are formally published. They have validity. And common names are not having any validity, and they are not governed by any rules. So anybody can use any names as common names. So there is no rules regarding the usage of common names. So there is no rules. So there is no consistency in the usage of common names. The common names vary from region to region. So that is highly variable between regions. Different common names are used in different languages, and in the same language itself many names are used for a single plant, just like papaya. In Malayalam there are many common names, local names used for the plant in different regions and even in the same region, even within a country or within regions of a country. And the common names are not consistent because they are not governed by any rules. One taxon may bear more than one common name. This often varying in different regions. So same plant may bear different common names in different regions. Common names tell nothing about rank and often nothing about classification. Common names, they do not tell the status of the plant, but botanical names or scientific names indicate their rank, the level at which that taxon is classified. So we can get an idea of the classification of the taxon. For example, Techi. Techi is a common name used to indicate many species of the family Rubiaceae. The very common Techi is Ixora coccinea, but Ixora javanica is also Techi. Then sometimes Pavata. Pavata is also known as Techi. So maybe this Techi is used to indicate different species of the genus Ixora, sometimes different genera of the family Rubiaceae, sometimes that indicate Ixora coccinea only. So we cannot get an idea of the level, the category of the taxon or the classification of the taxon. But botanical names indicate its category, its rank and its classification. For example, Ixora coccinea is always Ixora coccinea is Techi, but it is a species. Ixora is a genus under the family Rubiaceae. Pavata is another genus under the family Rubiaceae. That it indicate the level, the rank of the taxon, botanical names or scientific names. Many, if not most, organisms have no common names in any language. Majority of the plants and animals do not have, especially wild plants, members of the family Poaceae, Cyperaceae, etc. Majority of the members of these families, large families, do not have any common name or local name. Why do we require scientific names? So common names are always misleading. There are many problems with the common names. So we require scientific names. Why? Call to mind the concept intended by the transmitter of this name, who tell the name. So the exact concept regarding the plant or the animal is transmitted. Have the same meaning for all who use them. It is worldwide in application. For example, papaya. The papaya is known in many common names in Kerala, in Kannur, but it is known only in a single species name all over the world, Carica papaya. It is papaya in Kerala, Carica papaya is papaya in Tamil Nadu, it is papaya in United States. Then botanical names or scientific names indicate its rank, taxonomic rank, the level of the organism, the level in the classification, the level in the linear hierarchical system. So that indicate at which rank or which level it comes. It is very precise, often help to infer character details of the organisms concerned. So by telling the botanical name Ixora coccinea, we can know, or we can also have an idea regarding the characters of the organism. The leaves are opposite, the plant is a shrub, and the flower color is red, etc. So just by telling the botanical name or the scientific name, we can also tell or transmit details of the plant, the characteristics of the plant. Then coming to polynomial and binomial system. So binomial is the system used now for the nomenclature of plants and animals or organisms. Present system is binomial system, that is giving two names, two words, naming a plant or animal by using two names. These two names or two words are the first one indicate genus, that is known as generic epithet, and the second one species or specific epithet. These two combined form the species name. So for naming a species, two names are used. That is binomial system, that is consistently used, and that was the consistent use was introduced by Linnaeus in 1753 in his species plant era. Earlier, a species was named by using many words, and that system is known as polynomial system. So using three or more words to name a species, that is polynomial. Binomial is using two names. So polynomial system was used in the naming of plants until the first half of the 18th century, that is until Linnaeus published species plant era. It was used early by different workers, but it was used consistently by Linnaeus. Polynomial means a plant name consisting of several words in a series revealing the diagnostic characters of the plant. So the polynomial system is actually a description of the plant. That is the describing diagnostic features, diagnostic characters of the plant using many words. Polynomial means a plant name consisting of several words in a series revealing the diagnostic characters of the plant. Thus, Sidacuta is a common plant that is commonly known as Anakurundoti. The present name, the binomial is Sidacuta. It was published in 1768. It was earlier known by the polynomial Althea coromandellina angustis prolongis folis semin bicorneo, and that was named by Plucknett. So that is polynomial, using many words to name a plant. Many words are used as a species name, but the same species having polynomial Althea coromandellina angustis prolongis folis semin bicorneo is renamed by Berman in 1768 to Sidacuta. So sida is the generic epithet and acuta is the specific epithet. The polynomial system was superseded by binomial system used to some degree by Ravenous, Bohin and later consistently by Linnaeus in his species plantarum. So actually the binomial system was used by Linnaeus before species plantarum by Ravenous. Ravenous was a botanist. Ravinia in the genus Ravinia is in his honor, and Bohemia published in honor of Bohemia. They used binomial system. Later it was used consistently by Linnaeus in species plantarum. The Article 23 of the ICBN of Vienna Code 2006 states the name of a species is a binary combination, a combination of two words consisting of the name of the genus, that is generic epithet, followed by a single specific epithet. So the specific epithet is a single word, generic epithet is a single word, together two words. If an epithet consists of two or more words, these are to be united or hyphenated. Some specific names, epithets, consists of two words. For example, the common example is Hibiscus rosa sinensis. Hibiscus is the genus name, generic epithet, and Rosa sinensis is specific epithet. Actually, this Rosa sinensis is composed of two words, Rosa and sinensis. But these two words are joined by a hyphen without any space in between the words. So this hyphen is used to connect these two words, not to separate. This specific epithet is derived from two words. So these two words are connected by a hyphen. So this species name is considered as binomial, not trinomial or polynomial. So Hibiscus rosa sinensis, Strychnos naxvomica, then Erythrina cristagalli, Cayananthus malayalenyi. These are examples for having the specific epithet derived from two words. Then the name of an infraspecific taxon, that is a taxon below the level of species, that is infraspecific taxon. It is a combination of the name of a species and its infraspecific epithet. For example, Hibiscus rosa sinensis, variety Schizopetalis. So this is species Hibiscus rosa sinensis. The infraspecific category is Schizopetalis, and these two, the infraspecific category and the species name, that is connected by VAR, means variety. A connecting term is used to denote its rank. Then what is need of ICBN? So there are some rules, or there should be some rules regarding the nomenclature of plants or animals to become the names used consistent. So botany requires a precise and simple system of nomenclature used by botanists in all countries. So botanical names are worldwide in its application. So there should be consistency. So to make the nomenclature procedure consistent, it is governed by ICBN. The purpose of giving a name to a taxonomic group is to indicate its characters or history, but to supply a means of referring to it and to indicate its taxonomic rank. So these are the purpose of naming or giving name to a taxonomic group. The purpose of giving a name to a taxonomic group is not to indicate its characters or history, but to supply a means of referring to it and to indicate its taxonomic rank. The code means ICBN or ICN, that is abbreviated as code. The code aims at the provision of a stable method of naming taxonomic groups. Taxonomic group means plants at any level. Plants at any level. For example, species or subspecies or genus or family. So these are plants at any category or at any level, that is taxonomic groups. Avoiding and rejecting the use of names that may cause error or ambiguity or throw science into confusion, to avoid confusion, to make the procedure consistent. So that is the purpose of ICBN, and that is the aim of ICBN. So earlier it was International Code of Botanical Nomenclature, and actually the history starts from 1867. The beginning of ICBN date from meeting of the first International Botanical Congress. So these codes are prepared and modified in IBCs, International Botanical Congress. The first Botanical Congress was held in the year 1867. First International Botanical Congress, for which Alphonse de Candolle, the de Candolle family is very important, having many contributions in plant taxonomy. So this first IBC, which was convened at the presidency of Alphonse de Candolle, formulated a set of rules. And the laws of botanical nomenclature called Paris Code, and the IBC was held at Paris, or Candolian Code, because de Candolle was the president, was printed and published in 1867. And this code contains 3 chapters with the 68 articles. The rule of priority introduced for the first time, and that is the speciality and major rule introduced. That the rule of priority will be discussed later. Then another important rule is the requirement of valid publication. Valid publication. The valid publication of name is very important, and that requires many conditions to make a publication valid. So requirement of valid publication, the rule of priority, etc. were introduced in the first code itself. So that is the and rejection of names, acceptance and rejection of names. So all these were introduced in the first Botanical Congress, the first code, that is Paris Code. So that is the starting of botanical nomenclature. And the ICBN is utilized in 2 basic activities. So the 2 basic activities of ICBN are, one is naming of a taxa, which were previously unnamed and often not described. So giving names to new taxa, maybe species, infraspecific category, genus, family, or any category. So the first function is naming of taxa of undescribed new species. Second one is determining the correct name for previously named taxa. Sometimes names of taxa are changed. There are many reasons for change of names that will be discussed later. So in such situations, we have to decide which is the correct name, and that is the second function, determining the correct name for previously named taxa, which may have been divided, united, transferred, or changed in rank. So this is the present code, present ICN, International Code of Nomenclature for Algae, Fungi and Plants. That is known as Shenzhen Code, because the IBC, the 19th IBC, was held at Shenzhen in China in the year 2017, and the code became effective from 1st January 2018. The latest code was adopted by the 19th International Botanical Conference met at Shenzhen, China in July 2017. So this is the introduction of the code. The International Code of Nomenclature for Algae, Fungi and Plants is the set of rules and recommendations that govern the scientific naming of all organisms traditionally treated as algae, fungi or plant, traditionally treated as algae, fungi or plants, whether fossil or non-fossil, including blue-green algae, cyanobacteria, chytrids, oomycetes, slime molds, and photosynthetic protists with their taxonomically related non-photosynthetic groups, but excluding microsporidia. Before 2011, it was called the International Code of Botanical Nomenclature. Now it is known as ICN. Earlier it was ICBN. This edition of the code embodies the decisions of the nomenclature section of the 19th International Botanical Congress, which took place in Shenzhen, China in July 2017. This Shenzhen code supersedes the Melbourne code. The previous code was Melbourne code as a result of 18th IBC held at Melbourne, Australia, published after the 18th IBC in Melbourne, Australia in 2011. The rules of the Shenzhen Code became effective immediately upon acceptance of the resolution at the closing plenary session of the 19th IBC on 29 July 2017. That the decisions and appointments of its nomenclature section be approved. The Shenzhen Code in its final form was published on 26 June 2018. That is the printed version. This electronic version was made available on 27 June 2018. So this is an introduction of the present code, and this is the previous code, that is 2012 code or Melbourne code, and this is very historic, and this code is revolutionary in the history of botanical nomenclature, because many rules were changed in this code. So this is very important. The previous code adopted by the 18th International Botanical Conference met at Melbourne, Australia in July 2011. And the next code will be Rio code, and the next IBC will be held at Rio de Janeiro in Brazil from 23rd July to 29th July 2023. The dates are same. The Shenzhen IBC was held in the same date, and the next code will be effective from 1st January 2024. And this is the this was the main venue of the 19th International Botanical Congress at Shenzhen, China. Shenzhen International Convention Center, and some cultural programs at the venue of the inaugural session, after the inaugural session of the Congress. The main venue. The second venue, the Congress was held at two venues. One is Shenzhen International Convention Center and nearby Sheraton Hotel. So the second, some sessions were held at this venue. Two delegates from Kerala. Many Indian taxonomies attended this Shenzhen Congress, because China is very close to India. So many from India, including from South India, Kerala, attended the conference in the 19th IBC. Chinese food. So these are the recent codes. Shenzhen code 2017, IBC published in 2018. Then Melbourne code 18th IBC in 2011. The code made effective from 2012 January 1st. Then Vienna code 2005, 17th IBC. St. Louis code 1999, 16th IBC. Tokyo code 1993, 15th IBC. Berlin code 1987, 14th IBC.